There are prayers on my screen. So let's start with the prayers. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांस्य हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी भानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. So, welcome everyone to IBC Siksha. We are reading chapter number 14 of Bhagavad Gita. We will continue from where we had stopped. That is text number 15 we had stopped. So text number 16 is where we'll do. Okay. So before that, we'll do some short recap. So we are talking about these three modes. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, you can see.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're talking about the three modes: Sattva gun, Rajagun, Tamagun, and it's binding force. It's actually a mode. It binds us. So there's a very nice picture which I didn't show last time, but I'll show you this time. You can see this. So man in this world is binded by these three gunas, and these three gunas are ropes around human beings, even animals, and even the whole material nature has these invisible ropes around it. Okay, and these three gunas are servant of Krishna. So these three gunas are fighting for superiority. That's why if the soul is not strong enough, then they can come under the three modes and they act in a particular way. Okay, so these are the three modes of material nature. Okay, so so binding means with what force do they bind, right? What are the knots? Knot means knots. Knots means um
Obstruction.
huh
Obstruction.
obstruction. Better than that. Let me. Oh, knots. Knot is like a fastening. You tie the piece of string or a rope,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's a method of tying a knot. Okay, so knot is like you fasten it, you tie it. So what the mode is tying us with, the goodness is also tying us with. What is it? Sense of happiness, satisfaction, superiority. See, this is the problem with goodness. But still, we have to come to the mode of goodness, and then we have to reject this binding force. Okay, characteristic and manifestation illuminates the gates of the body with knowledge. That means the gates of the bodies are used for the right purposes. Okay, frees one from sinful reactions. Sinful reactions are very less, zero. And today we are going to read what happens at the time of death also. If one dies in the mode of goodness, they attain higher planets of great sages. Sages. Sages means they'll continue their spiritual life in the next life. What is the result of that action? Action is pure. Result will be pure. It will be with knowledge. It won't be confusion. It will be elevation to higher planets. Or we can say, we can think like it will be elevating in this particular world life only. right? It will be good living, it will elevate oneself, it will elevate others also, right? So passion is binding by what kind of forces? Fruitive activities. Hmm? I always took the example of children, because children, they show passion very quickly. Unless you show something like a sweet or a chocolate, or something, they are not ready to do that activity. So they are bounded by fruitive activity. You show me something, then only I will do, right? Every father mother has to go through that. It binds by rope of desire and attachment, intense unlimited desire and longing. If you don't get, the person becomes very intense. I want it, I want it, I want it. Great attachment. Without it, I cannot live, right? So many so-called love stories we see. The boy and the girl, they say, oh, without that guy I cannot live, I cannot live. After marriage we come to know they cannot be together. They're fighting so badly. And this is true, this is not a joke, this is true.
Mm.
One of my relative, she married, and that boy didn't had a job also.
अरे बाप रे.
So father was saying, he doesn't have a job, but still she said no, no, no. And then after marriage, she's fighting with him. You don't have a job. You don't have a job.
Mm.
And now the condition is she's earning more than him, and she's running the house.
Mm.
So anyway, so what is the result? Misery, greed, earthly planets, situations where one is under debt, one is under loan, one is under severe reaction, right? Attains earthly planets. Now ignorance is madness, indolence, sleep. And what are the characteristics? Again, madness, inertia, lazy, darkness, illusion. What is good, think that to be bad. What is bad, think that to be good. Criminals, they birth in lower species, because they act like criminals, they'll become like that. They'll become jackal, they'll become lion or tiger or whatever, but not cow. Mhm. Cow is little higher, but still, then the result will be foolish, madness. See, madness and misery, there is a difference, right? Misery is, there will be terrible pain. Madness will be what? Madness will be what do you think
No
madness will
pain,
be?
no pain.
No, no, no. Madness
No
will
control
be,
over his mind.
yeah,
Mind,
madness.
mind doesn't react properly.
Not in a position to decide what is good, what
Madness
is
will be
good.
extreme pain, not just for oneself, for everybody. And it will be just terrible. Okay, illusion, foolish,
There
life
will
in
be
hellish
no
worlds.
consciousness, no Prabhuji. Madness means they won't have consciousness.
They will have consciousness, but the consciousness will be, let's search for some, like, mentally ill, foolish
Mentally.
behavior, stupidity, insanity, unreasonable, nonsense,
Just after
absurdness.
taking intoxication.
Yes, intoxication. Sometimes we see, like, few years back, we are keep getting this news nowadays, that
Mm.
some people together, the whole family committed suicide, because of some babaji told that you can, after death you will come back, and all this complete madness. And
Mm.
misery means what? Misery means, see, attachment is there na, so one will keep taking loan, and then one cannot pay back the loan.
Correct.
We heard this news, right? There's this coffee, which there was the CEO of this coffee day or something, there are these shops, na,
Coffee board.
Correct.
Coffee board.
CCD owner, Prabhuji.
yeah.
CCD owner.
So he committed suicide. Again, that is madness, but he was under great misery, because he was always thinking how to pay back, how to pay back, how to pay back, right? But let's talk about this concept of loan. A person in mode of passion and ignorance, how will they take the loan? It will be madness. If they need 5 lakhs, they will take 10 lakhs. Okay. Passion will be, if they need 5 lakhs, they will take 5 lakhs and they'll keep taking more loan on that. Meaning, in ignorance, one will not even see the capacity. If he is earning 1 lakh, he will take a loan of like 50 lakhs. That is madness because he doesn't have that capacity. In misery, what will happen is, in passion, what will happen is, if his income is 1 lakh, he may take the loan 2 lakhs. And then he will show that I have 2 lakhs. On top of that 2 lakhs, he will take 4 lakhs. On top of that 4 lakhs, he will say he'll take 8 lakhs. So it will be misery because there is like a calculation going on. And in ignorance, there is no calculation going on. In passion, right, people calculate. Okay, if you know this about this credit card, right? In credit card,
Yes,
every
Prabhuji.
month one has to pay back to the bank.
Bank, yeah.
And sometimes it is a very small amount, 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. So passionate person, what he will do is he will pay that much and then get more and more credit cards. Okay, and he will keep paying the minimum like that. In ignorance, what will that person? He won't pay back only. So that is
And the
madness.
banker will come and then arrest him.
Yeah. So that is bad. In goodness, what will happen is he will
He
take
won't take
only
the
things
loan.
what he needs, and he won't do excess. He won't go excessive. He won't give. Okay. In passion, he will go excessive. In ignorance, he will go excessive and ultra excessive. Okay. So like that. Now each of this ability we can think, each of the activity we can then see, how goodness, passion, ignorance will work. Each, you take any activity, eating. So eating in goodness means it will be fresh, pure. It will be, sattvic. It won't be agitating. The food won't give misery. Passion, lot of spicy, hot thing. Tongue should burn. In ignorance, it will be diseases. One
Yes,
will do something
junk
which
food.
will end up in disease and sometimes death. Like in Japan, they eat a fish which is called puffer fish. I'll show you the picture. Puffer fish.
Buffer.
Puffer. So what happens is this fish, right? Whenever it is attacked, right? It 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 becomes like this, like a ball. Otherwise,
Oh.
yeah. So this fish they eat,
Mm.
and it is actually a poisonous fish.
Arre
And
baap re.
every year, 5 to 10 people die. Now what is that? Madness, right?
Even Chinese also, they eat all
I
such.
mean, whatever, in China it says that whatever moves, they will eat.
They will eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Dirty
eat
people.
snakes, frog,
In
everything.
passion, they will eat this. I will show you. This is a new trend that is going on.
They eat everything.
Oh. Actually, I wanted something on, food on fire, or a passion will be like junk food. We can simply say junk food. And there is a trend going on. Where they are using these blowers. This fire blower is there, na?
Yes, yes, yes.
They will they will put cheese on the food, and then they will just fire it. Now that
Yes.
kind of food is not so much recommended, right? It's a misery. So much cheese they will put and all that, right? If I show you some pictures, you will understand. But then that's fine.
Like sizzlers, sir. Sizzlers.
Sizzlers, yeah, all that. You eat sizzlers, and next day morning you're sizzling. Yeah, it's a true thing. It's a true thing. Once I had it, and then I never had it. It's a true thing. Uh,
That
wha-
sound also comes like that.
but whatever, it is very, very spicy.
Yeah,
See, people eat
spicy.
this chili pakoras, na? For some people they can eat it, digest it, but for some it is very difficult. Next day morning, what, they're like flat on the bed, holding their stomach. So anyway, so for each of the activity we can understand what is goodness, passion, ignorance. See, there is parenting. Parenting goodness means it will bring happiness in the child. There will be no force, there will be proper teaching to the child. In passion, how the parenting will be, it will be comparison. See, that boy, that girl came first, you didn't come. It will be misery for the child. You are a failure, or you have to get. In ignorance, what will be the parenting?
They won't even bother.
They won't bother, that's there. Second, they will, in the name
They
of
will hit them,
punishment, they may
Prabhuji.
even kill the child.
They will hit them.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
will hit
hit
so
the-
hard that it will be madness. The child will be disabled, or he may get killed also. So that is how, every activity we can look through these three lens: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And every activity we can say, okay, it is going in this direction. Similarly, whatever we do each day, how we talk, how we behave, we should always see whether it is in mode of goodness or not. See, even though sleep is said to be in ignorance, but sleep is required, right?
Yes.
So how to sleep in mode of goodness?
We have to read some good books like
Read
Krishna
Bhagavad
book,
Gita, Bhagavatam.
like that, and then
Chant,
afterwards
chant
think
Prabhuji.
about
No,
the
no, talk
before
me about
sleeping.
sleeping. Talk me about sleeping. What is required for
Before
sleep
sleeping,
in
that's
goodness?
6 hours, Prabhuji. 6 hours.
Minimum
six
6 hours, maximum 8 hours.
yeah.
Second, what is another point required to sleep in goodness?
Early sleeping,
On
Prabhuji.
time.
Early
Going to
sleeping,
bed
yes.
early.
And sleep
And
when
sleep
sleep
early and
early.
get up
Early
early.
means not too early, but when
9
it is
o'clock,
dark,
9
it is
o'clock.
sleep. It is right to
9:30.
sleep like 8:30.
9,
Yeah.
9:30.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Okay.
9 around
9,
8:30,
9:30.
9:30,
9 o'clock.
9:30.
Maximum
Yeah.
10:30.
4,
Yes.
4:30.
Okay. Okay. What is how to sleep in mode of passion?
Eat
Passion.
eat full loaded and then
Okay. Okay.
And
Fine.
sleep
Yes,
late.
that is also there. Second,
And sleep around
Go
11:30,
to
12.
sleep very late.
very
And
late.
get
yeah,
up late
late,
also.
1 o'clock, two
They,
o'clock sleep.
Then get up late also.
yeah,
Hmm.
they get up around 9:30, 10, like that.
And sometimes sleep less.
They sleep less also. Yeah. They
Sometimes sleep
don't
less,
get that
just two
sleep.
hours sleep or 3 hours
They
sleep.
use the tablets also.
Sometimes use tablets, whatever. And sleep in ignorance.
Ignorance, there is no time also. They will be sleeping
Or
again.
continuous sleeping, Prabhuji.
Continue like
Continuous
Kumbhakarna.
sleeping, 12 hours,
Continuous
10 hours,
sleeping.
12 hours sleep.
Kumbhakarna.
Yeah, Kumbhakarna type. So like that, each of the activity we can then understand what it is in goodness, passion, or ignorance. Okay. So yeah.
Prabhuji, some people they sleep in the take a nap or something in the afternoon. Is it good?
So yes,
Some people.
according to Ayurveda, right, there is a sleep after food in the afternoon, but it should not be more than 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it should not be more than 20 to 30 minutes. And it should be on the one sided, that is on the left hand side, one should just take rest. Like that. So, yeah, according to Ayurveda, there are some instructions, but yeah, but not more than 20-30 minutes. If it happens more than an hour or 2 hours, then one has to take bath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
So they go under ignorance, Prabhuji.
Haha.
They go under ignorance if they sleep more than half an hour or so.
Passion, ignorance, right? Passion and ignorance.
Okay.
But when you're sick or something, then it is a different matter. Okay. But
Yeah.
when you're healthy and fine and still one is doing something which is not like, one does when one is sick, then it is in mode of ignorance and passion.
Mm.
Prabhuji, one doubt I have.
Yeah.
It is a dilemma for me, Prabhuji. What the thing is, regarding the food, Prabhuji. My body, if I don't eat properly means eating to the fullest. If I don't eat properly, my body won't support. So I need all varieties to be in my diet.
Okay, okay, okay.
Uh, and the other thing is, uh, we should be satisfied with whatever we get. We should not demand more.
See,
Like,
that depends on the level of the person. We need to understand that the ideal situations can apply to us to our level, not to the idealistic level. Okay, what it means is, like you said, we should not demand this and that. That is all fine. But if we are going to be so much disturbed that we are not getting, enough food, then what is the point of following that rule? If we are going to be disturbed by following that rule, and our spiritual life is also going to be affected, it is better to eat properly and then do. Like, we have Ekadashi.
Mm.
So technically Ekadashi means not even water,
Yes.
right? But we are not having that kind of bodies, right? We are having bodies where we want at least water. For some people, at least some fruits. For some people, little more milk. For some people, Ekadashi prasadam.
Yeah.
And for some bodies, they just cannot do Ekadashi.
Mm.
So principles are there, rules are there, regulation are there, and we have to follow it. For what reason? So that our spiritual life can be followed. If our spiritual life itself is disturbed, then we have to make an adjustment into the rules. Okay.
okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So in nectar of instruction, this is very nicely explained. This is a good point that you have said. This one, practicing spiritual rules and regulation only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Niyama agraha. Okay, so it has two meanings: agraha, agraha, and agraha. So Prabhupada nicely explains this. Let's see. Huh. Accepting some of the scriptural regulations for immediate benefit as alternate advocates is called niyama agraha, or neglecting the rules of the shastra which is meant for spiritual development is called niyama agraha. The agraha means eagerness to accept. So sometimes we really want to follow the rules, and agraha means failure to accept. We just don't want to follow. So both these extremes are not to be done. Why? Because the following of the rules should be for what purpose? That purpose should be served. If the purpose is not served, then don't be eager and don't reject it also. Okay.
Prabhuji, one more thing here, whimsically is mentioned. So, how to just draw the line like this I am doing whimsically, or this I am doing for my spiritual progress. So,
Okay,
how
good,
to
good, 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 good. See, our Bhagavad Gita itself is um, the guideline to understand whether we are doing whimsically or not. Okay, so in second chapter Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is saying, "Oh killer of oh killer of enemies, oh killer of Madura, how can I counteract the arrows of battlemen like battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? It would better be live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of great souls who are my teachers." Basically, if I were to kill, we were to enjoy with tainted with blood. I don't want to die. I don't want to kill. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they now stand before us on the battlefield. So he's showing both the conflicts. Should we conquer them or be conquered? And then he speaks this verse, which is a prayer within Bhagavad Gita. So when we are in doubt, we should chant this prayer. कार्पण्य दोषो उपहत स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वां सर्व समूढ़ चेता यश्रेयंसा निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्ते हम साधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम. Now I am confused about my duty, whether I am thinking whimsically or not, right? And I have lost all composure because of my miserly weakness. There is some weakness in me. I don't know whether to do this or that, or whatever I am doing, whether it is right or wrong. In this condition, I am asking you, Krishna, to tell me certainly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So, in times of perplexity, confusion, clarity, of our whether our action is whimsical or not, we should go to
Our Guru,
yeah,
bonafide
we
Guru.
should go to Guru. We should go to Guru. We should go to senior devotees and ask them that I'm thinking I should do this. Do you think it's a good idea? Is it according to our shastras? Okay, whimsically means independently deciding and coming to conclusion that I am right. Okay. Following means
Okay.
following means I think this is the right thing, that how the great sages have done, and to the present sages I have asked for confirmation whether this is the right thing or not. Right? Does that make
Yes,
sense?
yes,
Hmm?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So when there is a perplexity, it behooves one to approach the spiritual master who can give proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. So you take guidance. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Okay. So we have not yet started our session, but yeah. Um, okay. Okay. Let's start reading. Somebody read.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in the mode of goodness. But action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. Purport. The result of pious activities in the mode of goodness is pure. Therefore, the sages who are free from all illusion are situated in happiness. But activities in the mode of passion are similarly miserable. Any activity for material happiness is bound to be defeated. If, for example, one wants to have a skyscraper or so much human misery has to be undergone before a big skyscraper can be built. The financier has to take much trouble to earn a mass of wealth, and those who are slaving to construct the building have to render physical toil. The miseries are there. Thus, Bhagavad
Wait,
Gita.
wait.
Yes,
Recently, where the World Cup, football World Cup was played?
in Belgium, no?
No.
Recently, I don't remember Prabhuji
Qatar.
because I don't watch all these
Qatar.
things.
In Qatar.
Qatar, Acha, Qatar,
Yeah.
Qatar, yeah.
So in Qatar, it is so hot
Hmm.
that it is impossible to play. So they changed the time and date and schedule of the matches, and they put it in December when it is little cooler, and they won't play in the day. All the matches took place in the evening, night time.
Hmm.
Okay. And to build those buildings over there, because there were not many stadiums,
Hmm.
they put in billions of dollars, And many Indian, Nepali, Pakistani, South Asian workers went there, and they built this stadiums, and in building that they died also out of severe heat. Directly they got heart attack.
Oh.
So this is misery. To
Mm.
build a skyscraper, they put millions of billions of dollars.
Mm.
Then those who built it, they had to render physical toil, and they were miseries. They died of heart attack. So this is mode of passion.
Mm. Yes. Thus, Bhagavad Gita says that in any activity performed under the spell of the mode of passion, there is definitely great misery. There may be a little so-called mental happiness. I have this house for this money, but this is not actual happiness. As the mode of ignorance is concerned, the performer is without knowledge, and therefore all his activities results in present misery, and afterwards he will go on towards animal life. Animal life is also always miserable. Although under the spell of the illusory energy Maya, the animals do not understand this. Slaughtering poor animals is also due to the mode of ignorance. The animal killers do not know that in the future the animals will have a body suitable to kill them. That is the law of nature. In human society, if one kills a man, he has to be hanged. That is a law of the state. Because of ignorance, people do not perceive that there is a complete state control by the Supreme Lord. Every living creature is a son of the indulgence, and animal killing for the taste of the tongue is a grossest kind of ignorance. A human being has no need to kill animals because God has supplied so many nice things. If one indulges in meat eating anyway, it is to be understood that he is acting in ignorance and is making the future very dark. Of all the of all kinds of animal killing, the killing of cows is most vicious because the cow gives us all kinds of pleasure by supplying milk. Cow slaughter is an act of the grossest type of ignorance. In the Vedic literature, Rig Veda 9.46.4, the words go bhi prinita matsaram indicate that one who, being fully satisfied by milk, is desirous of killing the cow is in the grossest ignorance. There is also a prayer in the Vedic literature that states, Namo Brahmanaaya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadritai Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. My Lord, you are the well-wisher of the cows and the Brahmanas, and you are the well-wishers of the entire human society and world. Vishnu Purana 1.19.65. The purport is that special mention is given in that prayer for the protection of the cows and the Brahmanas. Brahmanas are the symbols of spiritual education. Cows are the symbol of the most valuable food. These two living creatures, the Brahmanas and the cows, must be given all protection. That is a real advancement of civilization. In modern human society, spiritual knowledge is neglected and cow killing is encouraged. It is to be understood that then that human society is advancing in the wrong direction and is clearing the path of its own condemnation. A civilization which guides the citizens to become animal in their next life is certainly not a human civilization. The present human civilization is, of course, grossly misled by the modes of passion and ignorance. It is very dangerous age. All nations should take care of to provide the easiest process, Krishna consciousness, to save humanity from the greatest danger. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From mode of passion, greed develops. And from mode of ignorance, foolishness develops, madness and illusion. Okay, little bigger purports are there. Let me read. Since the present civilization is not congenial to the living entities, Krishna consciousness is recommended. Through Krishna consciousness, society will develop mode of goodness. When mode of goodness is developed, people will see things as they are. In ignorance, people are just like animals, cannot see things clearly. So, ignorance, people are like animals, they cannot see things clearly. For example, they do not see that by killing one animal, they are taking the chance of being killed by the same animal in the next life. There is actually a mantra which says that I kill you in this life, you kill me in next life. And that's how the people in Tamsik they eat meat. So the day he understands that actually this is going to happen, I will be, the animal in the next life. he will then stop, right? He's expected to stop. So when they're actually educated in mode of goodness, they'll become sober in full knowledge as things they are. Then people will be happy and prosperous. Even if the majority of people aren't happy and prosperous, but if a certain percentage of the population develops Krishna consciousness and becomes situated in mode of goodness, then there's a possibility of peace and prosperity all over the world. So even small percentage become, Krishna conscious, then there will be peace and prosperity. Otherwise, if the world is devoted to mode of passion and ignorance, there is no peace, prosperity. In the mode of passion, people become greedy. Their hankering for sense enjoyment has no limit. One can see that even one has enough money, adequate arrangements for sense gratification, there is neither happiness nor peace of mind. That is not possible because one is situated in mode of passion. If one wants happiness at all, his money will not help him. So interestingly, we have always heard, right? Money doesn't buy happiness. So one has to elevate to the mode of goodness by practicing Krishna consciousness. Then he will become happy. Good point, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So when one is engaged in the mode of passion, not only he is mentally unhappy, but his profession, occupation also very troublesome. They are also very troublesome. He has to devise so many plans and schemes to acquire money to maintain his status quo. Recently, few banks fell, right? Fell in sense means not their buildings, but they closed down, right? Because their plan didn't work. Those who are from commerce field, they'll have to understand that everything is a planning. How to earn money and all that. It is very miserable. In the mode of ignorance, people become mad. Being distressed by the circumstances, they take shelter to intoxication and they sink further into ignorance. Their future in life is very dark. Now, those situated in mode of goodness gradually go upwards to higher planets. That is, this is after death. In mode of passion, they live on the earthly planets because it's a misery. Some misery has to be there, right? And those in abominable go down to hellish worlds. They become rakshasas or they become animals. See, mode of ignorance is very risky. You become bird, beast, reptiles, trees. Indicates that you continuously mode of ignorance without rising to higher mode. Their future is very dark. So therefore,
So the
this
meat-eating people, they come in what category, Prabhuji? They come in passion or ignorance? Slaughtering of the animal and then meat-eating.
see, there is one is authorized meat eating. That is also passion. Then there is unauthorized meat eating. That is ignorance. If one doesn't want to follow any rules and regulation, okay, then become that animal. Right? Become that animal then. See,
So the authorized is in passion.
authorized means according to the shastras.
That taking the temple in outside village and all those stuffs and then cutting according to
Yes.
the mantras. So
But it
that
is passion. It is not goodness.
No, it is passion or ignorance, and that's what I'm
Passion.
because untouchable food quality comes in the. That's what it was mentioned.
Yes. See, the thing is,
Somewhere I was
see,
reading.
there is overlapping of.
Yeah.
Okay, there will be overlapping of modes. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So act is passionate because one wants a result. No? I'm offering this animal to demigod, so that demigod will be pleased and like that.
Enjoyment. Yeah.
But it is misery because then this animal will be waiting for this person to be killed in next life. Getting?
Yes, true.
But ignorance is what? Ignorance is, without any ritual killing the animal just for
Prabhuji, but
sense
still this is
gratification.
going on in many
Yeah.
areas.
So all
People
slaughterhouses is
sacrifice
like that only.
goats.
Slaughterhouses, everything is like that only. There's no doubt.
So slaughterhouse also comes under passion only, Prabhuji?
No, ignorance.
Ignorance.
Yeah. A butcher's
Prabhuji,
life is
even
actually
now,
full of ignorance. Huh?
Prabhuji, even now there are many sacrifices going on in Durga temples.
Yeah. See, some of them are in passion, consciousness, and most of them are in ignorance. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like that. For a devotee, we don't have to do all that. Okay. Because we see things as in all activities that no performer. Okay, so this is Krishna is now telling things, he's clarifying. When one properly sees that in all activities no other performer is at work, then these modes of nature, he knows the Supreme Lord. He's transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. Okay, so when one understands how these modes are working, and the soul is being forced, and then he tries to be aloof, then he becomes eligible for liberation. One can transcend all activities in the modes of material nature simply by understanding them properly, by learning from proper souls. Okay, so when one understands these three modes, one will try to always live in mode of goodness, and then practice bhakti in mode of goodness, and go back to Godhead.
Yes.
Okay. The real spiritual master is Krishna, and he's imparting this spiritual knowledge to Arjuna. Similarly, it is from those who are fully in Krishna consciousness that one has to learn this science of activities in terms of modes of nature. Otherwise, one's life will be misdirected. By the instruction of bona fide spiritual master, a living entity can know of his spiritual position, his material body, his senses, how he is entrapped, and how he is under the spell of modes of nature. He is helpless, being in the grip of these modes. When one can see his real position, then he can attain to the transcendental platform, having the scope for spiritual life. Actually, the living entity is not the performer of different activities. He is forced to act. Okay, he is forced to act because he is situated in a particular type of body conducted by some particular mode of material nature. Unless one has the help of spiritual authority, he cannot understand in what position he is actually situated. With the association of bona fide spiritual master, he can see his real position, and by such understanding, he can become fixed in fully Krishna conscious. See, when Valmiki was a dacoit, right, he was forced to act because of his consciousness to kill. So even when he was told to chant the name of Ram, he was in that consciousness so much that he chanted Mara. Right? So his spiritual master then showed him his real position, and then gave him the solution that was very tailor made for Valmiki Rishi. At that point, his name was Ratnakar. A man in Krishna consciousness is not controlled by the spell of modes of material nature. It has already been stated in the 7th chapter that one who has surrendered to Krishna is relieved from the activities of his material nature. For one who is able to see things as they are, the influence of material nature gradually ceases.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Go ahead.
One who actually sees what the things as they are, then the material energy ceases to act on them. Actually, we have this knowledge that however the person might be acting, it is just because of the three modes of material nature. But in reality, when it comes to reality, we hardly figure it out that okay, this person is angry because of his moods, or this person is behaving like this because of this. This person is happy because of this. So, at that point, when we are living it, this won't come. We will act as if we are the body, and we will act as if the other person is their body, but not the soul. So how to practically look at the thing that okay, we are the soul, and just it's a show of modes of nature. uh, so how to practically live it?
See, practically we can live it when we are on the mode of goodness. When we are on the mode of goodness, we can identify goodness, passion, and ignorance. If we are in the lower modes, right, we cannot live it. We are being forced. So when we come to goodness, then we can identify what is what. Okay. So first, try to come to goodness. And the moment you come to goodness, then clarity starts coming in your mind. This is how it goes. Goodness means
Prabhuji,
what?
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Huh.
Prabhuji, actually, we say
But
that
before that,
super soul is.
Mataji, who asked that question, does that answer your question, Mataji? Or you're still.
Still, I have confusion, Prabhuji. Like you told, we have to be in mode of goodness to understand. But one thing is how to understand whether we are in mode of goodness or not. And
Okay, yeah, by this table, no? By this table.
yeah.
Hmm?
And
By this table, see, if we are attached to
mm,
fruitive works, na, we
mm,
should
mm,
know, okay, little bit of passion is there, okay. I'm not able to act selflessly. Some fruit I
mm,
need, some passion is there,
mm,
okay. Whether my activity is resulting in misery, greed, I am miserable, people around me are miserable, my greed is increasing, or is it foolishness that I did? Is it madness? Hmm? Is it resulting in happiness? Is it in alignment with knowledge? Okay, you're
okay,
getting.
Prabhuji.
So when we look at
Yes,
this
yes.
table, we understand. And
Oh,
there is another table now which I showed. Hmm? I will share this table today. Hmm? So you can go and check each and
yes,
everything.
yes, yes.
um, See, every activity can be in the three modes, right? So let's take one of them. Food. Like we talked about food a lot, you know. So let's talk about charity. Charity in mode of goodness is it's done out of duty. It is any without any expectation at a proper time to a worthy person. In passion is something I want from the charity in a grudging mood. And ignorance is impure person to impure person, you know, without proper attention, respect, like that. You take anything you take. Um, so yeah, according to this table, right? Then we have to understand where we are, and we have to come to the mode of goodness. Does that help, Mataji?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Okay, so I'll share this table, and you can take a printout and read this table every
Okay.
day. Okay, now, okay, Mataji, another Mataji had one question, na? So,
Prabhuji, I have one question. I just wanted to ask you.
mm,
See, actually, we have a super soul near our soul, right?
mm,
So why not he instruct us that see this is the goodness. Why you have to go into passion or ignorance? Why don't you go into this? Why you want? Why you are in this line? Why you are in this line? Why can't he say us that?
yeah,
He's sitting inside our heart,
yes,
no?
yes, yes. So, Mataji, you have children, Mataji?
Yeah, I have two daughters.
They are elder? I mean, they are yeah,
Yeah, elder,
teenagers
adult,
now?
adult.
Adult, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Do they listen to you, Mataji?
Yeah, sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't listen.
Okay. Now, your question is, why are your daughters not listening to you?
Mm.
Now, you tell me the answer.
Because
You can give them the right answers, but they are not ready to listen to you.
yeah, correct,
Yeah, so
exactly.
the soul is not ready to listen from the super soul. That is the answer.
Okay.
See, the soul, if is in mode of passion, right,
Mm.
then they don't even look at the super soul, right?
Mm.
Like you
Mm.
had two daughters or whatever, you know, child. You must have seen when the baby is there, the baby will always cling to the parent.
Yeah.
But the moment they become toddler, they want to run away from the parent.
Mm.
And the moment they get friends, they want to
Mm.
run away very far away.
Yes.
And the moment they get married,
Mm.
then they
They
are,
have
very different to their parents.
yes, Prabhuji.
And the biggest difference comes when, there is a property fight in the family.
Mm.
Then you see a different child. Right?
Yes.
So that is the thing. If they're in different modes, right, they're not ready to listen. So when we come in mode of goodness, right, mode of goodness means I'm ready to listen.
Mm.
So in pure goodness only we can listen directly from super soul, but in goodness we listen from spiritual master.
Future master.
Spiritual master, senior devotees, wise persons, sages, acharyas, Vedas,
Mm.
general common sense. Okay, does that help, Madaji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, okay. So one point I wanted to discuss. See, even bhakti can be in the three modes.
Mm.
How? How can be bhakti in mode of, let's say, ignorance?
They want, Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yeah.
uh, they want to, they do it for selfish gains, like material gains, or
That is in,
they pray for
yeah,
something and they want
yeah.
that,
That is
then
in
they.
mode of passion. In mode of
Okay.
ignorance,
They wanna enjoy, they do this animal slaughtering.
no,
Uh,
no.
the-
Bhakti is not in
and
animal slaughter. Bhakti, chanting the holy name of Lord,
Prabhuji, Prabhuji
service.
like Hiranyakashipu.
Hey,
Like
Hiranyakashipu was not
Hiranyakashipu.
bhakti. It was not bhakti.
Expecting something in return.
Okay, expecting something return is
Passion.
Passion.
Prabhuji, in some places they offer, some foods that that has onion and garlic, like in Kali temples and
no, no.
all.
That is not bhakti. Bhakti is to Krishna.
so they perform
In worshipping
devotion.
Krishna, there can be in mode of ignorance. How?
They
There can be
To
worship
show
disrespect,
off. To
right?
just
show
There
off.
can be
out of
disrespect.
This
See,
to show
we
off
read,
that.
right? Let me put some points. There can be disrespect. There can be grudging service. There can be destructive mentality. Can you tell me what does this mean? How can a devotee have a destructive mentality?
That if he wants to do, he will do. Otherwise, he won't do.
No,
Otherwise, being jealous of other devotee, Prabhuji.
that is in mode of passion.
Passion.
Destructive mentality.
Destructive mentality.
So let me
The,
put suicidal thoughts.
uh,
That is one. More.
suicide.
I won't do. You won't do. Meaning, I won't do bhakti, and I will not let you also do bhakti, or I won't do
Hmm.
this service, and you also won't do this service. Destructive.
Not letting others to do.
Yeah, in this, there is a very nice example of two disciples. They are serving their spiritual master by pressing his leg,
Hmm.
and in doing that, they press it so hard
Hmm.
to show the other person I am doing much better.
Hmm.
And the
Poor
pain
brother.
is
Hmm.
happening to the spiritual master, and he's doing
Ah.
so that
Poor.
is mode of ignorance.
Hmm.
Mode of passion, selfish gain, enviousness,
Hmm.
and now mode of goodness,
Thinking
selfless.
about God.
That is fine. Thinking about
Uh,
God is there, but selfless.
it's selfless. Yeah.
Second,
Non-envious. Non-envious.
yes, non-envious.
Not expecting any material
Yes,
gains.
out of
Yeah.
duty,
Duty
not
bound.
expecting anything in return,
Doing service.
doing service for the sake of service,
Yeah.
cooperating.
Hmm.
So we can put something more, right? Fighting, argumentative. Here, separatist. I will go away from the temple.
Hmm.
With that, I will take 10 more devotees with me. And this has happened, huh? This has happened.
Okay.
This has happened in all Vaishnav Sampradayas. There are four of them, and all four of them happen. So we have to be careful. Even bhakti can be done in these three modes. There is a
Pro-
section. Yeah, tell
Prabhuji,
me.
if we carry any, I mean, because of bad experiences, if we carry any negativity, that also comes under mode of ignorance.
Mode of, yes, mode of passion and ignorance. Yeah, when we carry what you say, hidden motives.
Not a
Hidden.
hidden motives, Prabhuji. Like, just if something goes wrong and you had a bad experience,
Yeah,
and if
unforgiving. If you're not able to forgive, right?
unforgiving,
Yeah, then it is in mode of ignorance. It's
Prabhuji,
slightly in
then
mode of passion also. Unforgiving is slightly in mode of passion also. In unforgiving is in mode of ignorance also. Okay.
Prabhuji, then practically doing bhakti in mode of goodness is next to impossible, no, Prabhuji. Like, uh, because
It is
at
not
some point,
impossible. We have to do it under the guidance of a guru. Okay, good. So I think Sri Ramanujarya's day was there, na? Some few days back.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ah,
Day before yesterday.
yeah. So he had a disciples. He had many brahmachari disciples. And these brahmachari disciples were very learned, very austere, very tapasvi and all that. Then he had Grahastha disciple, and I'm forgetting his name. So this Grahastha disciple was previously a wrestler, and he had a very beautiful wife also. And these brahmachari disciples found that Ramanujarya is spending more time with them and giving them a lot of respect, so they became envious. So now he had to teach them, because they aren't doing bhakti in mode of passion, right? So he had to teach them. So what he did was, they would wear kopins. Kopin is their underwear. It's just a cloth and a thread, and they just tie to it. Okay.
Langota.
Ah. So what he did was, he he cut them, made holes in them, and then the brahmachari started fighting. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. And then Ramanujarya, he came and said, "What is happening? He did this. He did this. He did this." Then he said, "Stop." Then they all went stop. Then he knew the tendency of the brahmacharis, fighting tendency, na. So they were envious of this devotee couple. Then he said, they have lot of wealth, gold. Let's steal it. And the brahmacharis immediately got ready for it. Let's go, let's steal it. So once, this wife was sleeping on one side, and the brahmachari slowly sneaked through their windows, and they started pulling her ornaments from her body. So she understood. But then she said, these are disciples of Ramanacharya, and I think they need money. So that's why they are doing like this. So it's okay, let them take it. I don't need it. Then on the other side of her body was their ornaments, huh? So that she wanted to give. So she turned around. But the moment she turned, the brahmacharis ran away. So they went to Ramacharya and said, "Oh, we could only get this much." Now Ramacharya said, "Okay, go, listen what they're doing." So when they again went, and then that time the wrestler, he came and he was talking with his wife, and he said, "Didn't she said, these brahmacharis came, they were taking jewelry from my
Ornaments.
body, and I tried to give the other one, but they ran away." The wrestler said, "Oh, lady, what fool you are! You should have kept it on the side now. They would have taken it like that only. Our guru needs it." Hearing this, the disciples were shocked. They thought that these couples were actually very attached to their jewelry and all that, but they were very detached. So from this story, they understood that they are really advanced devotees.
Mm.
So your point is we will learn from other devotees who are in mode of goodness. So therefore we should associate with those who are in mode of goodness, who are advanced than us, who are not in passion and ignorance. We should avoid them and we should take association of those in mode of goodness. And when we appreciate those qualities, we get those qualities slowly, steadily. See,
But
Prabhupada
Prabhuji,
disciples,
what
they
if
were
we
breaking four regulative principles, right? But they associated and served Srila Prabhupada. Then they moved from ignorance to passion to goodness. Okay? Yeah. Tell me, what was the question, Madhavi?
what if we don't have if that sort of association is not available? Like,
We should
when,
seek for that association, Mataji. We should seek for that association. Okay. And
oh,
second thing is hearing. Hearing about the pure souls is also association.
oh,
So it is not like we are, stuck at home or something. We sometimes go to temple, we sometimes do some services and all that, and we get into situations where we have to show mode of goodness. We have to reject mode of passion and ignorance. So that is the time when we are fighting. And when we are chanting, we should introspect for what I am chanting. Selfish gains to show superiority or to show the other devotee that I'm a good chanter. Then we should kick out all those tendencies and move towards mode of goodness. Okay, selfless, non-envious. Okay, does that help, Mataji?
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay, okay. This is still 27, right? Okay, we can stop for today. Any
Yes.
questions or comments?
It's very difficult to come to a mode of goodness, isn't it, Prabhuji?
Hey, it requires some practice, Mataji.
Okay.
And it requires that particular association and then particular setup is also required.
Mm.
Okay. If you go to yatra, are you going to yatra, this Vrindavan or something?
No,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Okay, okay,
I had been to Muktinath 2 years before.
okay, 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 whatever. um See, the Janmashtami Ekadashi you follow.
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Ah.
Yes.
So you will see that those days you have determination to follow the fasting,
Yes.
either uh, complete fasting or Ekadashi food, right?
Mm.
So that's how we develop mode of goodness,
Okay.
by following Ekadashi, Janmashtami festivals, by doing Aarti every day, by chanting our prescribed rounds, then following the four regulative principles. Slowly, slowly, the mode of goodness increases, Mataji.
Mm.
Hearing about Krishna, hearing about the devotees of Krishna, and then desiring to follow in that footsteps help us to come to mode of goodness. And the thing is, all these things will happen gradually.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, gradually it will happen over the years. But we should have that desire that I want to improve. And then because Krishna sees this desire, he will make sure that it will happen. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So let's stop here. Any more questions?
Prabhuji, one more thing. When is the last date for submission of the answer sheet? Any idea?
June 12th.
No. It will be, the exam will be in June. So you have to sit for the exam and do it.
Mm.
I don't think
Okay.
it will be the same question paper that I shared. Okay.
Oh.